Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Friends, today we will talk about a unique festival of the Angami tribe in Nagaland. Women in Northeast have always been progressive and independent. We will learn how a woman entrepreneur in Mizoram is tasting success by starting a boutique. Nagaland festivals have a vibrant and rich cultural heritage. It is a land of numerous festivals inhabited by 16 major tribes. Each of these tribes has their own unique and stellar and indigenous culture, customs, tradition and festival. Angami community is one of the major tribes in Nagaland where traditional community works are still being carried out in the modern Angami society. Chadani festival, meaning a festival of clearing footpath and village wells, is one unique festival of the Angami tribe which has been kept alive by the community of the western part of the Angami region. This festival also brings unity, good health and happiness in the village.
Chadani festival is an old-age tradition which has been observed by the Angami community, especially in the western part of the Angami region. The Suma village of Western Angami under Kohima district is situated 7 km away from the state capital Kohima, where the community has been organizing Chadani every year in the month of August after the paddy cultivation. Chadani is participated by all age groups in which the community comes out together, singing traditional folk songs, clean the footpaths and sideways leading to respective fields, and also repair village roads. After the day's long hard work, the villagers joined together in feasting. The villagers consider Chadani as one of the best and cleanest festivals. They also term it as Kesarhoni, meaning good health festival, since it is believed to bring back good health to the people. This tradition has also been kept alive among the community to enable young generation to value the importance of cleanliness and good health. For Northeast Diary, this is Asonyo from AIR News, Kohima.
Sikkim covers just 0.2% of the country's geographical area but is identified as one of the biodiversity hotspots in the eastern Himalayas. The tiny state is home to around 700 species of butterflies. Individuals like the butterfly man of Sikkim, Nosang M. Limbu, are making a difference to the conservation efforts. Here is more about this from our correspondent Parijat Sharma.
Nosang M. Limbu from West Sikkim's Dara village has been documenting butterfly and bird species in the state as part of conservation efforts for over a decade now. Known as a butterfly expert in Sikkim, Mr. Limbu was recently presented the Green Guru Award by Guwahati-based Balipara Foundation. He also received the Green Ambassador of Sikkim title from Delhi-based Center for Media Studies, Vatavaran in 2015 for his contribution towards documentation and preservation of butterflies and others. Mr. Limbu highlights his work and achievements in this area.
I have been working in the awareness and conservation of butterflies in Sikkim since 2010. I have written a book on the butterflies of Sikkim, which happens to be the first book on the butterflies written by a Sikkimese. I am also closely related with community development works through various aspects of tourism like homestays, nature guides, organic farming, and the upliftment of culture and tradition, including the cuisine, music, and literature, of course, of various tribes in Sikkim. I have discovered a new species of butterflies for India called the Papiliozoethus, or the Asiatic swallowtail, from Arunachal Pradesh in 2014-15. Of course, the exquisite natural beauty and diverse biodiversity of Eastern Himalayas is what motivates me every time. Receiving the Green Guru Award is a huge encouragement to do more and create bigger examples in the field of nature conservation and environment.
The environment enthusiast is also among the first from Sikkim to present a pictorial guidebook on the butterflies found in the state, titled The Flying Pearls of Sikkim Himalaya. Moreover, Mr. Limbu is involved in community development through tourism, including as a nature guide and through organic farming and homestays. His efforts are likely to help recognize the natural wealth of a small state like Sikkim. With Saikat Sarkar, this is Parijat Sharma for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Sikkim.
This is noted that women are very progressive in all the states of the Northeast region. They are hardworking and engage themselves in outdoor activities in addition to managing daily domestic routine works. The number of women entrepreneurs is increasing day by day. We may take an example of Mizoram. Here we have a report from Mizoram about a woman entrepreneur who overcame financial hardship and has now become an emerging successful boutique owner. More from Aizawl correspondent Irene.
Miss Zaumai of Venghlui Aizawl completed her class 12 in 2013, but her family could not afford to continue her further education. The upset girl then took training on tailoring to earn. The training fee was worth 500 rupees, which was still not affordable for her family, so she started giving tuition to the trainer's son to earn her training fee. After 1 year of training, the young girl worked under 2 designers. Later, she dared to buy a closed boutique on credit, which she repaid the owner on monthly basis of earning. This way, her brand has come up, named as Zozo Fashion. Talking about her journey, she said,
"After I complete my course, I worked for some time under a designer named Arts Innovative Dresses at Skopikon for a year. After that, I went to work in a shop owned by Mali at Venghlui. The owners of this shop decided to close down the shop and I bought the shop on credit. I owe a lot of money to Mali, which I repay monthly from my income. I went through a lot of sacrifice and hardship in life, but today God has blessed me with a beautiful boutique of my own."
Zaumai had never done a course in designing, yet when people come to order clothes, she can mentally picture what the customer wants almost immediately. She has made dresses of all ages from toddlers to grandmothers across Aizawl town. She said she had successfully repaid the credit fully in 2016 to the former owner of her shop when she was 22 years old, and she became the proud owner of her own industry. By 2020, the young girl, Zaumai, turned up as a successful entrepreneur in the state. For Northeast Diary, this is Irene from Aizawl.
We all know that film or cinema is a reflection of society and movies are one of the effective communication forms. Considering its importance, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting also provides assistance to filmmakers, and many events have been held to encourage filmmakers. In today's episode, our Imphal correspondent JJ Thokchom talks about the film scenario in Manipur.
The history of Manipuri cinema started with the first Manipuri film Matamgi Manipur by Dev Kumar Bose, which was released on April 1972. The film also bagged the President's Silver Medal for Best Regional Film in Manipuri in the 20th National Film Awards. Since then, the legacy of Manipuri cinema has seen many ups and downs. However, situation has changed and Manipur has created a golden chapter in the history of Indian regional cinema, thanks to the dedication of filmmakers, artists and technicians who have been working to improve the Manipuri cinema. In spite of the low audience comparing to other states of India, Manipuri films or non-feature films are doing well in every competition or festival held at national level. Speaking to AIR News, filmmaker Haubam Pawan Kumar, who bagged many national awards including Swarna Kaman, said that the Manipuri cinema is comparatively good while comparing to other states.
I've been making documentaries for the last 13-14 years. I've got 4 national awards and 7 Indian Panorama selections. Cinema is a reflection of the society and an art form. So talking about Manipuri cinema, the population that people who watches Manipuri cinema comparatively very less to Hindi or Tamil or Telugu. There is a huge gap, but I think definitely the Manipur State Film Development Society is also trying their best to reach out to the masses. The government has to first take the initiative and invest some money. I personally don't believe that the government has to invest money all the time. But initial phases, they need to invest some money to create good cinema. And once this cinema reaches the masses, private investors will automatically be interested in it. And then, it can stand on its own.
The filmmaker Haubam Pawan Kumar did 3-year postgraduate on direction and screenplay write from the reputed Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institutes. Like him, many youths has taken up course in filmmaking and working hard to improve the Manipuri cinema. The state government through Manipur Film Development Corporation also collaborating with them. JJ Thoksom from Imphal for AIR News Northeast Diary.
Friends, Dibrugarh in Assam is known far and wide for its tea gardens. Our correspondent from Dibrugarh has filed this report on the visit of Padma Shri Dr. Jadav Payeng to BCPL for awareness program under Saksham 2021.
Urging a strong sense of ecological awareness among today's citizens, Padma Shri awardee Jadav Payeng called for constant engagement with the environmental science as a part of India's education policy. Advocating the need for people to constantly and periodically engage with nature from preschool to university days, he pitched for the current educational framework to have greater emphasis on respecting biodiversity. The Forestman of India, Jadav Payeng, expressed his views in such a way in an awareness program on Sanrakshan Samata Mahotsav 2021 on 28th January last, organized by Brahmaputra Crackers and Polymer Limited at its Borbura Township in Dibrugarh district. BCPL is celebrating the festival from 16 January to 15 February. Payeng, who has earned the title Forestman of India, made these remarks during a plantation drive in the herbal garden of BCPL Township at Borbura in Dibrugarh. The drive was a part of the Sanrakshan Samata Mahotsav under guideline of Union Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. He spoke of the current status of 550 hectares forest he had himself planted on a sandbar of Brahmaputra river. Efforts are underway to cooperate with the State Forest Department in merging it with the Kaziranga National Park to help maintain the ecology. On the legality and morality of evicting indigenous people from the forest and national park area, which is a recurring development at Kaziranga, Payeng said, keeping people away from residing in forest is necessary to prevent poaching, which has reduced from previous year now. To a question on the role of youth in maintaining ecology, Payeng said they can start by planting trees instead of cutting cakes on birthdays. He also called on the residents of Assam to help make the state attractive for foreign tourists who appreciate biodiversity. The program was a huge success with Dr. Payeng emphasis on Rajniti, Arthaniti, Dharmaniti se upar hai Prakriti. This is Pranav Kumar Nath for Northeast Diary, Dibrugarh.
Khogolom Pul, a beekeeper at Namsai district of Arunachal Pradesh, is setting an example of becoming Atmanirbhar and vocal for local. Here's a report from our Itanagar correspondent, Rakesh Dole.
On many occasions, our compulsion becomes our hobby and later becomes our source of livelihood. Same has happened with Khogolom Pul from Lohit district in Arunachal Pradesh. Khogolom Pul, an asthma patient, started beekeeping in 2007. Pure honey is believed to be beneficial in asthma disease. People in this part rarely take up beekeeping commercially, so it was hard to find pure honey in the market abundantly. This compelled Mr. Pul to start rearing bees at his backyard. This later turned into his hobby, and now he has taken up beekeeping commercially. He says there is a huge demand for honey, but none in his area has done before him.
तो मैंने बी कीपिंग शुरू किया 2007 में, और मेरा बी कीपिंग शुरू करने का मकसद यही था, मैं बीमारी आदमी था, अस्थमा पेशेंट था, तो बी का बारे में बहुत सुना हमने कि वो अस्थमा पेशेंट में लोग हनी खाने से उसका शरीर बहुत तंदुरुस्त रहता है, बीमार ठीक रहता है, बीमार ठीक हो जाता है, ऐसे सुना। तब से मैंने ये बी कीपिंग करना शुरू किया। तो पहले मैंने केवल एज ए हॉबी हिसाब से 2-3 बुक्स लाया था। ये लोकल हॉबी होनी, यहाँ का जो एपिस इंडिका बोलता है, शिराना इंडिका, हम लोग को लोकल भारतीय मधुमक्खी बोलता है, उसको मैंने पालन करना शुरू किया। तो आस्ते आस्ते ऐसे करके करके फिर हमको और इंटरेस्ट लगा। तो फिर मैंने 2018 से जोरहाट से मैंने 3 बॉक्स एपिस मेले फेरा लेके आया। तो उसको डिवाइड करके करके मैंने अभी तक 17-18 बॉक्स बनाया। हाँ, अभी तो ऐसे अगर आप कलेक्शन करता है ये जो, तो उसमें आपको सेल करने को कोई ज़्यादा घूमने उमने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं। अब घर में बैठे बैठे सब आ जाता है, लोकल में ही सब कुछ खत्म हो जाता। लास्ट ईयर मेरा प्रोडक्शन कम से कम 60 kg का था। तो 60 kg में हमने सब फिर उसे भी पहुँचाने, सब लोग आके पूछते रहता है, अरे और है क्या, और है क्या, और है क्या, क्योंकि लोकल हनी के बारे में सब लोग जानते हैं, रॉ हनी के बारे में जानते हैं वाला लोग तो उसको बहुत लाभदायक मानते हैं। बाजार से तो बहुत अलग है ये जो अपने जो लोकल भी होता है ना। तो ऐसे करके डिमांड तो है, बहुत डिमांड है, हमारे लोकल में ही खत्म हो जाता है। कोई बाहर जाने का कोई जरूरत नहीं, बिकने का जरूरत भी नहीं है, जैसे कोई दुकान में बैठने की जरूरत भी नहीं है, आप घर बैठे बैठे सब कुछ खुद आके ले जाते हैं।
As pollinators, bees plays a very important part in every aspect of the ecosystem. They support the growth of trees, flowers and crops, which serve as food and shelter for every creature, large and small. Mr. Poole says that by taking up apiculture at a commercial level, youths can not only make themselves sufficient financially, but also will contribute toward a larger cause of protecting the environment. For Northeast Diary, this is Rakesh Dole, AIR News, Itanagar.
In Meghalaya, artists have been trying to bring to life the natural beauty nature has endowed the state with. Raphael Warjiri is one among many artists who founded the Riti Academy of Visual Arts in the year 1991. The academy has been in the forefront of many undertakings in providing congenial space for the art fraternity to meaningfully work and realize its potential and vision. The artist was recently awarded the Meghalaya Day Awards 2021. The U Tirath Singh Award for Arts and Literature. Here's an interaction with Raphael Warjiri, founder and curator of Riti Academy of Visual Arts, Shillong.
Hello listeners of Northeast Diary. Today we are joined with Mr. Raphael Warjiri, founder and curator of Riti Academy of Visual Arts. Riti Academy is one of the leading art institutions of Meghalaya based in Shillong. The first question I would like to ask to Mr. Raphael Warjiri is, what is Riti Academy all about?
Riti Academy was formed way back in 1991. That time when we formed it, I thought that it will be, encompass a variety of creative activities. But what we have started, since I am a visual artist, so I have started with visual art. So subsequently we are doing films. Gallery was set up way back in 2010. It was quite, long time since 91 when we set up the academy. So that time at the beginning we used to hold art exhibition. But thing is that when I look at the scope, at the potential, give some benefit to the artist fraternity, I don't see this one, because that way the entire northeastern region is lacking in this aspect. So I had thought of certain ways how to go about it. So that's why immediately we skipped to film. I make some films. So from film somehow we could make some money. We could share among our fraternity. Whoever is involved, then we could get some amount to use to sustain, because we need to sustain. So that is the basic thing that we are doing in the beginning. Then later on, when I set up the gallery in 2010, then we shifted here also just last 3-4 years here in Umsosun. We have a bigger space. So we introduce music, we introduce dance also, both folk and contemporary. So that way it is growing, but it is not like have any kind of recognition from any authority. So we are moving forward for that. So we are still trying to. I have contacted Northeastern University, then I have contacted concerned state government authority to pave the way for setting up of an art institution. So basically this is what we wanted to do. So later on, then we also engage in theater also. So that way our film have been nominated in some international festivals in Bangladesh, in Nepal, Singapore. Then even our theatre also was, performed in Dhaka, Bangladesh recently in 2015. Then that way, side by side, like I said you earlier, that I wanted to do something for painting, for sculpture also. So in 2007, I have taken around about 40-50 paintings to Dhaka and later on to Nepal also, Kathmandu, and involving all the Northeast artists. So many of my, basically I can't take all the artwork of all the artists. So I have some, intimate friends that I know and who are good in their own work. So I've taken. So it is being displayed both in Dhaka and in Kathmandu. So locally, then somehow we try to motivate the government. We try to motivate through the gallery some private institution. Gradually, then we could sell some paintings. So that way, it's coming up. Basically, we're trying to nurture upon our members is to project, the culture of the Northeast. Yeah.
What are the other major contributions of Riti Academy, especially to Meghalaya, besides promoting artists of the state and the region?
Apart from these creative activities, we are also involved in some, like say for example, we used to host the Orange Festival. So that way we are also collaboration with the horticulture department, but we manage the entire show, and I'm actively involved with orange farmers and go to the field and do whatever I can do, but essentially I'm just motivating, but the expertise I don't have as far as agriculture or horticulture is concerned. But for my side is to create a synthesis between the farmers and the official in the government, so that way they get to encounter with each other and the farmers get to derive the benefit from the government. So like this I have done for bamboo also. We had a very big celebration of bamboo culture of Northeast India that we did in Nehu under the with the support from the Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts. So that way, then there is this, we did a film festival on environment also with SMS Vatavaran. This is an NGO based in Delhi, but it's quite reputed NGO. So with them also we are doing the film festival. So like that, many other activities we are involved. Yeah.
Since you are involved in a varied number of activities, including art and hosting all the festivals, agriculture, horticulture, is there any recognition so far given by the state government or any other institutes, reputed institutes of the government of India for your contribution towards building up a better society, building up a better state?
From the government in India, I don't know. I have not have any formal recognition of our activities, whatever we have done. I'm very much in constant touch with Lalit Kala Academy, and Lalit Kala Academy used to send me to different parts of the country for participating in whatever art camp that is being held time and again. It's quite prestigious gathering of artist fraternity, so I used to participate in that. Otherwise, from the government of India, I have not had anything as such. But from the state, there are few, and from Northeast also, from Guwahati, there's one organization called Anu Prerona. They have, they have given me some recognition, some award last time. Then recently now, I just received a Meghalaya award. Yeah.
What was the main contribution to receive that award in the field of art and literature from the state government?
Yeah, actually, Commissioner Secretary of Government of Meghalaya, he called me just few months before I received the award on Republic Day. He said that he wanted to recommend my name. Then I said I'll be happy, So basically, I can understand that he must have assessed, because I used to associate with him when he still is the CEO of. He's a CEO of election. Then he was also Commissioner and Secretary of Art and Culture. So that way I get to involve in many art and cultural activities through him. He must have, noticed the kind of work that we are doing from Riti Academy. He had visited also sometime, whenever we have some activities here. So did a very big, street play for the election department, propagate the election program and ethical voting and all these, awareness program for the election that we did, and we toured all over the state. We go to Garao Hills, we go to West Castle, all the districts we participate in all this. Then apart from that, then at the moment there is a very huge relief sculpture that we are engaging at the moment for the art and culture, which is right in the facade of the State Central Library. Because all this while the State Central Library looked like a very typical, corporate office or government office. I have always said, for last few decades, I used to tell the government and whoever I can influence, but it doesn't work out somehow. But when Frederick came, then he was a little bit receptive and understand what I'm trying to say. So we were working together with him. I was trying to tell him how do we go about it, how to get kind of a facade for the art and culture department that will depict the culture of the people here in the state. So that's how we are doing right now. Yeah.
Then the last question I would like to ask is there any plans to expand the famous Riti Academy, which everybody in Shillong and the state knows, to other parts of the state, like the Jaintia Hills or the Garo Hills?
Yeah, to tell you frankly, Riti Academy is much more known outside the state. In Assam, in Mizoram, in Arunachal Pradesh, even somewhere in the country also, many they know Riti Academy. I mean, that's my experience whenever I travel within the state. Some people know those who are in the in the sphere of art and culture, they know, but the rest of the people don't know. But when you go outside, then everybody knows about Riti Academy. So that way, we did have some, I will not say it's a vision, but there's a plan, like I told you earlier, but to set up the art institution. Maybe, for fine arts or for theater, for music. Like it happened now, music is already there. Nehu is there, St. Agnes is there, then few other colleges also they have music department. So maybe music I can keep on hold because somebody is doing. But things that is not being done, I wanted to do. Primarily theater and fine arts. Because why? In the whole of the country, each and every state, even small state like Pondicherry, like Goa also, they have art institution. But why not Meghalaya? Meghalaya, it was, once upon a time, an erstwhile capital of the entire Northeast. The composite state of Assam was actually earlier what is Northeast now. Actually, the whole region here is Assam. So Shillong used to be a capital. But how come we don't have an institution here? You have in Guwahati, you have in Manipur, you have in Tripura in the Northeast. Even elsewhere in the country also it's there. But why in this region, this very old capital it's not having? So it's very essential. So I feel that I'm working towards that direction to see that, both fine arts and theatre should have proper space here.
I hope Riti Academy succeed in having a proper department for the state and for the capital.
Thank you so much.
In Tripura, there is a heritage river Gomti and the lake Dumbur carved out of the river Gomti. The whole area around river Gomti and Dumbur have now become a heritage site and also a tourist destination. Here is a report from our correspondent Reena.
Tripura is one of the most important cultural and heritage hotspots in the northeastern region. Century-old historical sites, archaeological spots, rivers and lakes and temples going back hundreds of years. Wildlife sanctuaries and arts and crafts of the state portray the heritage of the people of the state. Every year, lakhs of domestic and foreign tourists travel to this state to savor the palette of heritage spots of the state. Among all the heritage sites, the Gomti River is regarded as one of the most important sacred destinations to all people belonging to different religion, language, caste and class. Every year, mainly the Hindu people take a journey to the southernmost corner of the state to take a holy bath at the wee hours of Makar Sankranti at Tirthamukh of the Gomti River. Mythology suggests that taking a holy bath at Tirthamukh, which is the origin of the river Gomti, has been continuing since more than 500 years back. The river Gomti has also given a hydel project which has been created about 60 years ago by carving out a channel from the river Gomti, and this lake is known as Dumbur Lake. A 41 square kilometer Dumbur Lake has passed through coarse, crisscrossing hills and a deep forest. Dumbur Lake is a charming water body located in Gandachira subdivision, which is 120 km away from Agartala. The lake looks like a tabor-shaped small drum, Dumbur of Lord Shiva, from which the name Dumbur originates. Recently, the state government has taken massive efforts to make this destination more attractive and can be explored by the tourists. The government has launched boating facilities in Dumbur and will set up log huts in Narkal Kunja or the Coconut State very soon. Talking to AIR News, Assistant Director of Tripura Tourism Development Corporation, Mrinal Kantidas said,
In Dumbur arranged motorboat at Narkal Kunjo and Gandachara and Mondigar. These log huts will be constructed very recently. About 18 log huts will be constructed there in Dumbur. And even for promotion of Tripura tourism, we have arranged jet ski at Narkal Kunjo.
The Dumbur Lake, with an unending span of luxuriant green vegetation, seems majestic for the charming beauty. It has 48 islands in the midst of the lake. Most of these islands are accessible by boat. The other attraction of Dimbur and Narkal Kunja is finding rare varieties of migratory birds facing from the lake, which is worth watching. For Northeast Diary, this is Rina Numaitam from Magatala.
With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.